Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I wanted to talk about a story from New York City that really pissed me off about a gentleman named Jose Alba. Jose Alba was arrested and put in jail with over $250,000 in bail for murder. Now, what murder did he commit? Well, he was at a bodega. A bodega is like a convenience store. It's a place where you can buy stuff like milk, eggs, peanut butter, Listerine, condoms, bleach. It's not a real grocery store, but it's a place to be able to buy some basic essentials, and it's usually on the corner of just about every block in New York City. He's behind the counter. Somebody walks in. They want to buy stuff. They're with their boyfriend, and she wants to buy some stuff. She takes out a credit card. The credit card's declined. Now, what she does is she goes, "Oh, excuse me, sir. I'm so sorry. Let me get..." No, who are we kidding? This is New York City. So what she does is she starts arguing with the person behind the counter, and then her boyfriend, who is a criminal that just got out of prison, starts beating the person up behind the counter, because that's what you do when you're in your 30s and the person behind the counter is in your 60s and has politely informed you that your credit card has been declined. You try to beat up the old man. Now, the old man is doing his best to try to get away because he is an old man who is not supposed to be fighting people half his age, and he manages, as he's getting beat up and trying to get away, to get a hold of a knife, and he stabs the person that is trying to assault and kill him, and that person then dies, which is a result that I personally support. If you try to assault and beat up an elderly old man, and you wind up getting stabbed in the process, and you die as a result of you initiating that encounter, initiating that fight, my heart pumps piss for you. We're probably better off without you. If the way you respond to your credit card being declined is that you start beating up an old man, maybe we're better off without you. I do not empathize with you. I do not sympathize with you. I do not care that you are no longer with us. I don't care that you're gone. Now, the police show up, and what do? This entire thing has been captured on security camera. They arrest Jose Alba for murder, and he is put in jail with bail set at $250,000. Do you think somebody who works the counter at a bodega has $250,000 in their back pocket to just pick out to be able to get out of prison or get out of jail for their self-defense, clear-cut self-defense case? Probably not. The reason this aggravates me is because of the concept of bail reform that's been talked about very often, and what Alvin Bragg did with his memo in January. Alvin Bragg is our new district attorney. Couple of things here. So A, he wanted bail to be set at $500,000, not $250,000. He's like, yeah, we got to throw the book at this guy who is trying to actually defend himself from a criminal who is trying to kill him. It got set at $250,000, but he wanted it to be $500,000. Now, the thing here is I understand the concept behind bail reform. The idea, even if I disagree with a lot of it, the philosophy, which I can understand, is we live in a country where you are innocent until proven guilty. Simply because you do not have enough money to pay bail so that you can be out of jail and be innocent and live as if you're innocent until you're proven guilty does not mean you should be robbed of this right. I understand the idea behind it. The problem that I have is the constant simping that occurs to apply this to criminals and not the people that actually make society function. If you are a criminal, Alvin Bragg has got your back. Check the video that I have down below. I went over for 45 minutes this memo that CNN dishonestly left a bunch of stuff out of, and we were up the very specific statutes in that memo, where you have felonies of burglary and assault. You have felonies that have been, in many cases, decreased to petty misdemeanors. So if you commit a felony, it'll get decreased to a petty misdemeanor. However, if you are one of the people that allow society to function, one of the people that puts in work every day, a law-abiding citizen that simply wants to go home without getting killed by somebody half his age who has a criminal record, who is beating you up, we throw the book at you. This is sickening and tiring, and it has to stop. I am sick and tired of reading comments from people saying shit like, well, maybe he should have tried to stab him in a non-lethal way. If somebody is going after my father, who is 72 years old, who's had 7 surgeries, who is not in the best of health, if they're trying to beat him up, I don't want my dad to be thinking to himself, where can I stab him if I'm lucky enough to get a hold of a knife and not get blocked because I have really slow because I'm old? Where can I hit him where I'm just going to hurt him and not fall? I want my dad to kill that motherfucker. I want him to ensure that he gets out of that interaction alive because he did nothing wrong and he was not the one who initiated it. I do not think to myself, well, maybe if he had a better upbringing, maybe if we spent more money on social work, maybe if we did this, maybe if we did that, it's not really his fault, because I'm sick and tired of it. I was actually reading comments from people saying maybe he should have not aimed to stab him in a manner that was lethal, as if that's what you're thinking when you're an elderly person and somebody half your age with a criminal record tries to kill you. I am sick and tired of the way we make all of these excuses and jump through all of these intellectual hoops to try and, explain away why it is that bad people do the things that bad people do. Why deadbeats act like deadbeats, as if it's something that we can just fix if we just put in enough work and hard enough, and if we just work hard enough at it. While at the same time, the people that make society function get the shit end of the stick. And to be clear, when I say the people that make society function, I'm not saying that you have to be an astrophysicist. I'm not saying you have to be a petroleum engineer. I'm not saying that you have to be somebody with a college degree. The person that puts eggs and milk on the counter at your local grocery store that makes minimum wage is one of the people that allow society to function. It's one of the reasons that you have food. It's one of the reasons that you could go downstairs to a store and purchase the essentials for life. These people should not be punished for trying to defend themselves in this manner. And if you are going to do an investigation, if you are going to throw the book at them, if you are going to do this as somebody that cares about having a more equitable society, then don't set the fucking bail at $250,000, and most certainly don't argue that it should be $500,000 for a guy that works at a goddamn bodega. They said that maybe he's a flight risk, maybe this, maybe that. Listen, he did not ask for somebody to enter his store and try to kill him. And if you want to see that, listen, this is something that he probably shouldn't be in trouble for, you know what you can do? You could look at the camera footage because they recorded it. Now, at the very least, one of the silver linings in this story is that the new mayor actually had something decent to say. The new mayor had said that he thought that this was a clear-cut case of self-defense, and he said it's time for New Yorkers and Americans to start standing up for people following the law, and that's what I'm going to do, the mayor said on Thursday. I agree. I think that we should give benefit of the doubt to the people that were on camera defending themselves, the law-abiding citizens, and stop just bending over backwards to make excuses for why criminals are criminals. If you try to stab somebody, one of the things that they mention here is that the girlfriend, the one whose credit card was declined, while this whole scuffle is going on, apparently she got a couple of stabs in at this cashier. At this point, and please do correct me if I'm wrong in the video, I've looked it up, I can't find anything on this. At this point, she has not been charged with anything. The guy who is defending himself while being assaulted has been charged with something. But the person who actually got a stab in does not appear to have been charged with anything. Does not appear to be sitting in prison. Or jail, I should say. This is a meme. And I really do suggest that you take a look at the video that I did in January. I'll link it down below. It is 45 minutes, but I have done the work to put in all of the timestamps and all of the citations and to have all those timestamps labeled very clearly. We went through Alvin Bragg's memo. CNN made it sound like all they did was, to stop prosecuting marijuana possession and stop prosecuting prostitution as strictly as it was prosecuted before. That's not the case. There are a number of different serious felonies that under many circumstances can now be processed as a misdemeanor because, again, when it comes to criminals, we will always simp for the criminal. We will always try to explain away why the criminal did what they did, why they should be charged with a lesser offense, why even if they did that thing that was wrong, well, you have to understand it because they had this, that, and the other, and disadvantaged, and there's not enough social programs and this, that, and the other. But again, why can we not apply that to the law-abiding citizen, to the person that's not trying to commit a crime, to the dude that just wants to go home at the end of the day after serving you your milk, your eggs, and your toilet paper? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.